Hello and welcome back to the 2024 to 2025 Marble Marathons Championship Tournament. You see all those fans who came out today for a very special event, a triathlon relay. And we should have our current standings coming up in a minute. Yes, the Red Squirrels in first after yet another medal. I believe it was a gold last time, bumping the Crazy Trains down to second. But those two are still well ahead of the middle of the pack, with a lot of teams competing for that bronze medal position. And there's the quadrilla section, the funnel section, and the gravitrack section, which will be our three areas today on the triathlon relay. Our example run done, as always, by Team Swirl. That blue and orange marble handling the quadrilla section perfectly, going through that swirl piece and bumping that orange swirl into the elevator. And that has to be very hard to go up that elevator, knowing that you're about to be dropped into those funnels. You need a very tough-minded marble to be able to do that. A lot of strategy goes into the marbles that these teams pick for the events. And that orange marble is released into that first funnel, handles it expertly, a nice line into the second funnel, and we'll have to see. Team Swirl may do better than a lot of the other teams in this event, as so far pretty expert racing by them. Oh, and that orange marble will fall off the track behind that Gravitrax post. We will have to see if they are okay. Those example marbles, very beloved around the Marble Marathons community. It'll be a 52:38 for Team Swirl. And I am getting word that that orange marble will be okay, minor injuries. But that has to make you nervous if you are the marble handling that middle section for your team, as I doubt falling from that high feels very good. And we will have our first team, the Icebergs, Glacier, Blizzard, and Icy, with the captain and the reserve running. You notice they want to get a strong start there with their captain in, who goes very fast through that quadrilla section, sending Blizzard into the elevator. And we'll have to see how Blizzard does with the nerves of having to go all the way up that elevator, right into the funnels, as that is definitely the toughest section of the track today. Also the longest. And the team who wins will probably have handled that section very masterfully. And Blizzard, a nice job in that first funnel, bouncing around a little bit. A bit of an inventive line. More of going back and forth as opposed to around in a circle. Worked for them the first time, but not great in the second funnel. We'll have to see if Icy can make up that time. And Icy very fast, but gets kind of stuck around the corners. And pretty good finish for the Icebergs. That is a 52:38. A long time in the funnel section. But the Gravitrax and Quadrilla were very efficient, as yes, you see Blizzard bumping around in there. Maybe the coach will have to do some reflecting on who they pick next time for a similar event like this. But now, our next run, after this replay, it'll be the Red Squirrels, who currently hold first place, Nut, Tree, and Burrow. And Nut is absolutely speeding through that first quadrilla section. I believe the Icebergs had a 6:04. And that second marble. Tree, I believe, going up the elevator. And the elevator is very consistent, as I wondered if it could be a factor in these marble speeds, but I have been assured that it is very consistent. And the only thing affecting the marble's time is their actual racing. A great job by Tree there. More of a straight line as Blizzard had, but then adapts a little bit to a more circular motion in the second funnel, and that appears to work, as they're already in that third funnel doing very well. We'll have to see if the Red Squirrels get another medal here, as they have quite a few so far in this tournament. Burrow going very fast through that Gravitrax section. And it's going to be a 57:37. Wow, I thought they were doing good. The Gravitrax section handled expertly, but that funnel section was not good at all. Wow. And I thought they were going fast through there. Man, we'll have to see the replay. One bright spot, the Gravitrack section of 5.82 by Burrow. A great job by that marble there. But it has to be disappointing for that team. Black holes, supernova, gravity, and neutron. And I'm hearing that after seeing these first two teams, they made a last-minute lineup switch to put gravity, the captain, into that elevator funnel section. And we'll have to see if that has any impact on how they do. That first marble did very well in the quadrilla section, so we'll have to see if that carries over here. Hopefully they have a bit of momentum for that team. And gravity's released. A decent line through the first funnel. The second funnel appears to be make or break, as those first two marbles really got stuck up in there. And it appears to be no different for gravity, but we'll have to see the third funnel taking more of an inventive line there, but is not going to do them much good. They will send that last marble into the Gravitrack section, and an okay run. It's a 56-12, which will put them in second place. A bit better on the funnel section, great on the Gravitrack section. It seems like the icebergs did not too great on that Gravitrack section, but really made up for it in the funnel section. A great job by Blizzard there, and hopefully gets a lot of recognition from that fan base and team for their hard work. We'll have to see if their first place holds, as we are a fourth the way through our runs. The Desert Waves team, that's very high up in there, wins the first marble. Seems to be going pretty good. That swirl track, also a big maker breaker in that first section. Handled it pretty well. I believe they are also racing their captain here in this middle funnel section. And the captain slowly rises to the top and is dropped into that first funnel. We'll have to see. They seem to be taking more of a circular line and actually don't do quite as good in that first funnel as some of the other teams, but looking pretty good going into that second funnel there. Oh, but a bit too many swirls at the bottom. We'll have to see how it evens out in the third funnel here, going into that Gravitrack section. And not bad. Pretty good for that in there, the Desert Waves. And we'll have to see where that performance puts them in the overall standings. The 57-3-2 will put them in third place, still ahead of the Red Squirrels. And gotta be getting a little nervous if you are a Squirrels fan. Again, that funnel section, not handled great. That seems to be making a big difference in how these teams do. And Team Swirl, I believe, had a 52-second time, doing a lot better than some of these other teams. And that's a bit surprising considering that they are only an example team. Seaweed sprinters, Algae, Kelp, and Plankton will be running now. Algae, pretty fast through that quadrilla section, although I would argue that that is not a very important section. It really is the funnel section, which they picked Kelp to run, that can make or break that team's performance. And also the Gravitrack section to a degree. It seems most of the times under 6, like in the high 5-second range. And I believe that is Kelp. Yes, Kelp released that first funnel. Not a great line, seeming to get stuck up a little bit there. And we'll have to see in the second funnel, a lot of marbles having a lot of trouble with that second funnel. And I don't know, it seems like the score can go anywhere from 52 to a minute. We'll have to see if any of these teams are able to achieve under the 50-second mark. And Plankton, pretty fast there through that Gravitrack section. Oh, but terrible in the funnel section. And that will get them over a minute. And the Red Squirrels are no longer in last place. And that has to be humiliating if you are the Seaweed Sprinters. Terrible by them here. That was not a good performance. You see the replay just rattling around there. Kelp. I'll have to do some reflecting after this event. Not very good at all for the Seaweed Sprinters, a team that was actually contending there for a little bit. Team Sabretooth, Panthera, Tooth, and Smilodon. Interesting choice having the reserve win that funnel section. Team Sabretooth is a very famed team throughout the PMRA into the Marble Marathons League. However, they are not doing very well. I believe 8th place right now in this event. But maybe we'll be able to turn it around here. And Tooth, the reserve, heads up the elevator. We'll have to see how they do in this funnels. Team Sabretooth, more of a fast sort of sprint team, but very well through that first funnel. And now is going quickly again in the second funnel. And not great there, but not a lot of teams have really handled that very well. So it doesn't matter too much for Tooth. And this may have been the right call. Almost genius by the coach. Bumps their captain Smilodon into that final section, who glides seemingly effortlessly along those Gravitrax tracks, and it's going to be a 56.04, putting them in second place. The Icebergs still well ahead. The Black Holes creeping behind Team Sabretooth, which I believe also a 56 time. And you see that replay. The funnel section handled towards the top of the pack with a 42. Pretty good by Tooth. The Gravitrax section, wonderful. And the Quadrilla section, pretty average, but on the upper side. And our results through run 6, the Icebergs on top with a 55 second time. Then Team Sabretooth, Seaweed Sprinters all the way down in last by 3 seconds. And that's got to hurt if you're them. And our next event will be the Triathlon Relay Part 2. So please like and subscribe for the rest of these marble runs.